Thanks for joining us at soccerparenting.com, where we're talking today about a very important issue, parents talking or coaching from the sidelines. We hear this all the time. Parents, please don't talk on the sidelines. Please don't coach on the sidelines. And while we know that it's something that we shouldn't be doing, it's still just so hard not to do it. Today, we're going to be joined by Dr. Jerry Lynch. Jerry just wrote a fantastic book called Mindful Sports Parenting. He and I will be talking about just mindfulness on the sidelines and what goes on and why parents feel the need to talk from the sidelines. That conversation is part of a previous conversation I had with him, Dr. Jerry Lynch.
We use the term a lot that we want to give sports back to the kids. Tell us what that means to you, where you think we need to go when we do that.
Well, sports is, at the age of our children, sports is their game. In fact, any athlete that plays a game, even at the professional level, it's their game. And what we are when we're watching them is we're spectators. Whether you're watching the Golden State Warriors in the stands and you're cheering for them, or you're in the stands at the soccer field and looking at the pitch and seeing the kids playing, you're there as a spectator, and it's their game. And, Sky, when I was growing up, we never saw our parents. Parents were like, they were at home, and we were out in the ballpark, and we made bases out of clothing, articles of clothing, and pieces of wood, and it was truly a sandlot. And this is back before soccer was introduced in this country. But the beauty of it was that we learned how to play, and we got really good. There were six athletes from my neighborhood who went professional. We all played in high school, multiple sports, and in college. And we learned the game, and we had fun. And what happens now is the parents have taken over in many ways, and they're measuring their own self-worth based on how the kids perform, and they're living vicariously through the accomplishments of their children, so that if my child gets to go to Stanford, well, I must be a good parent, I must be doing a good job, when in fact that's not true. And you're doing a great job, period, because you're a good parent and you love your kids, and that's all they need to know. And those wonderful 5 words, I love watching you play, comes back to me all the time, no matter who I'm looking at. I love watching you dance. I love watching you cook. I love watching you speak, whatever. To let the kids know that we do honor their game and give it back to them, because it is theirs.
Yeah. It shocks me, though. I consider myself to be a rather level-headed soccer parent. And it's really easy to cross over to that other side when you're watching a game or trying to talk to your child about their sports experience. Why is that?
Well, I think, again, there's a number of dynamics going on. Psychologically, I feel that we are attached to the outcomes of our children because we think it measures whether or not we're doing a good job with our kids. If the kids aren't being successful on the field, then I guess it's our fault somehow. So we really get wrapped up in it. Plus, we're human beings, and we're really proud of our kids, and we love our kids so much that when they do perform well, it's a lot of fun. And I was the same as you, and here I am. I write a book about it, and now I'm talking to you, and you're the expert as well. You're doing all this wonderful work for all of us with this summit. But, we all get caught up. I mean, I remember doing some real silly things. I mean, I've made so many mistakes with my kids. But the thing that was always true was I always had good intention. And I know your intention is pure. And even though you maybe get caught up with it, maybe catch yourself and say, God, what did I yell at the ref for? What did I scream at the kids for? What did I do this? What did I do that? We get caught up in it. It's emotional. And we want to see our kids happy, and we believe that our kids are happy if they succeed on the pitch. And what we're doing is defining success by outcomes and results. But if we turn that around and start to measure success by how the kids feel and what they're experiencing and the joy and how they learn lessons for life, like being together with someone, a group of people, so they're learning cooperation, they're learning to be together, they're learning to work out their problems on the field, they're getting confidence from that, they're learning leadership qualities at a young age. If we get into measuring that as success and winning, then I think it's much easier for you and I to not get wrapped up in outcomes and results. So we have to really be sharp and mindful, which is part of the book that I'm writing, to be mindful of that concept of just by the kids being there, they're being successful, and not measuring it by goals scored or all of those kind of things.
Yeah, I have two children. My daughter is very athletic, plays soccer at a very high level. And it's with her that I sometimes feel a little bit of stress creeping in. With my son, who plays soccer but is not very athletic, I love watching it. Like, there's no stress. I just sit on the fields and it's wonderful. But when you add in that layer of competition, or maybe the feeling of, gosh, my child has some real potential, so therefore we need to do something. I need to be in charge a little bit more. Then that's when the stress comes in a little bit.
Yeah, it does. And again, look what you're doing, and look what I would be doing. And I have had kids who have really good potential, and I have, kids whose potential wasn't really there, for being great, whatever. And you're right. I just went out. I remember watching one of my children going out, and they were just having a lot of fun, and I was enjoying them having fun. When my other son would be going out, and he was like definitely scholarship material and an Olympic level athlete. And boy, when I watched his games and watched his performances, they were very different. And again, what's happening here is we're getting caught up in results and outcome.